Joining us right now, R Sharma, the MD at JSPL, joining in on the show. Mr. Sharma, hi, good morning. The finance minister has doled out a great tax goodie with a 10% tax reduction coming in. In FY19 itself, your average tax rate was around 37% plus, and you had a deferred tax liability as well of 3,400 crore rupees, as we understand. How will this rate change affect your tax expense going forward?
Yes, good morning. It's a very good news, and we are thankful to Honorable Prime Minister as well as Honorable Finance Minister for bringing this kind of relief to the industry. It's a big relief to the steel industry as well as to the entire engineering industry of the country. Though the government will be losing revenue, but overall, I feel that more than 40,000 crore rupees of tax benefit will be passed on to the industry. And there is a cascading effect. This 40,000 crore rupees, what I'm estimating, and what the other economists are estimating, maybe 35 to 40,000 crores, this will be plowed back into the business in times to come. So it is a cascading effect. Government in longer run will not lose the revenue because there will be more job opportunities, more companies will come in, and there is another relief for the new manufacturing companies, and I think there will be overall positive sentiments in the market. And this is what we have been seeing for the last 3-4 days. And Honorable Prime Minister, he is in United States and he has addressed the World CEO Forum, and he is inviting people to come to India and to invest. And he himself wants to become a bridge in between the policies versus the real things happening. So this is a good news. I'll rate it a very, very positive sentiments for the steel industry as well as entire engineering industry.
An impact to your profitability, free cash flow. How do you plan to utilize the same that this tax cut will free up? What's the implication first and the possible utilization?
You see, we in JSPL, we are little different than the other peer group, like the steel industry. We are basically in railways. We supply rails to Indian Railway and to the railway subsidiary. We also export rails to adjoining and neighbouring countries. And rail business is doing pretty well. If you see the overall growth in the industry, the railways is growing at the rate of 36%, which is a very high rate of growth. The construction is growing, say, around 5.3, 5.4%, whereas the capital goods, automotives, consumer durables, they are negative by 5%. Since we are major supplier to, I would not say major, but we are the second largest supplier to Indian Railway in terms of rails. So we are getting benefit out of it because whatever the government is doing, Indian Railway is doing. They are expanding their capacity, track installation. So we are getting direct benefit out of that. Secondly, we are in specialty products like specialty plates as well as this specialty structures. And with this new infrastructure boost, I think the transmission towers and the shipbuilding industry as well as the defense industry will grow, and this is where JSPL would like to get the benefit out of the overall growth. The other factor is yesterday Honorable Prime Minister has spoken about the coal gasification. Actually, we have been discussing for long, and 5 years back we started our first coal gasification unit in India and on a mega scale. So we are having a capacity of 225,000 nm³ of coal gasification gas, that is called syngas, and this gas is utilized to produce steel through DRI route. So this is the first plant in the world, and the coal gasification is the future. What Honorable Prime Minister has told yesterday, that is very right. If we do the gasification of coal, whether it is coal bed methane or underground coal gasification,
right,
or
Mr.
above
Sharma,
the ground
but what one would really like to understand is that this tax benefit that you are going to accrue, and like you also just highlighted, this is a big benefit really coming your way. Would that be deployed for capex requirements? Would that be put back into the company?
Yes, I tell you, because the first target of JSPL is to reduce the debt. Today we are at about 38,000 crores, and we will be, by the end of this year, we'll be at 34 or 35, 34,500 crores. That is our target. Our EBITDA will be around 10,000 crore. So we rated that EBITDA to debt, if it is say 1:3, it should be very healthy. So we will bring it down in next 1.5 to 2 years time to 30,000 crores. So this is what we are aiming for. And any tax relief, tax benefit definitely will bring to the system back the money, and it will be plowed back into capex. But that will be down the line in 2 years. We are not looking any capex in this particular year, but definitely the moment we bring down our overall debt to a level of 30,000 crores and having an EBITDA of more than 10,000 crores, then we will think for the capex.
Let's also get in a sense as to what the outlook is for the sector as a whole. We're staring at the possibility of a mid-cycle slowdown this fiscal. How would you manage your capex in the midst of all of this? What is the outlook for the sector as a whole as well?
You see, steel industry is very bullish because the government is all out to produce 300 million ton steel in the country. China is at now 900 million ton. We are aiming for 300 million ton. This is a very good step, but we have some challenges in the country because we have to bring lot of engineering companies in India. We have to bring lot of research institutes in India. We have to bring lot of equipment manufacturers in India. So I think the steel industry will definitely grow. We have big potential, though we are number 2 today in the world, but from number 1 to number 2, the gap is 1:10. So this is what we have to bridge. We do not want to cross Chinese production, because China has projected themselves as a world's workshop and world's manufacturing hub. So we are not in a race to become a world's manufacturing hub, but definitely we have the resources like iron ore and coal, and we can produce power at the lowest cost in the world in terms of thermal power. So I think the capex will definitely come over a period of time.
Okay. You just highlighted, Mr. Sharma, that from now to the next 2 years, all the tax benefits will go into reduction of debt. And after 2 years is when it will be deployed for capex. Help us understand what exactly is the capex plan? What kind of capacities are you looking at bringing on board?
You see, we already have a capacity of today 9 million ton. We are producing about 6.5 to 7 million ton. First of all, we won't do any capex to reach to this level of 9 million ton. The first thing is we have to go to 9 million ton. And to reach to 9 million ton, we are looking a little help from the government of India and Coal India. We are short of coal. We have to import coal for the gasifiers. And if we get coal on regular basis, then I think we can reach to 9 million ton very fast. We are going to be the lowest cost producer of steel, not only in country but in the whole world. We can, if the coal gasification works, then we can produce coal at we can produce coal gas that is called syngas at about $6 per MMBTU, whereas the equivalent gas is available today in India $12 per MMBTU or $14 per MMBTU, natural gas when we speak, and we can produce steel at a price of 17,000 rupees or 18,000 rupees per ton if the coal is available to the industry and the gasifiers works very well. So this is what we are aiming now, from 7 million ton to 9 million ton. We want to reach with the availability of the resources. We don't need any capex. But after 9 million ton, if we have to do something to meet out the expectations of the Government of India, Ministry of Steel, that to be a part of 300 million ton kitty, then definitely we will do, but that we will do after 2 years time. So next 2 years, only one agenda: to reduce the debt, number 1, to increase the profitability, that is number 2, to run our gasifiers so that we can produce DRI at the lowest cost in the world, and finally the steel at the lowest cost in the world. This is what our aim is. So the Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Government, Honorable Madam Sitaraman, she has given a great relief. I think only one relief is still required to the entire industry. I'm talking on behalf of the Indian industry, not as steel industry, that there are certain companies which are at the just borderline of NPA. So if the government comes and handhold them, then I think these companies can be revived. So the borderline cases should be revived.
Which
so
companies
a hand-holding
would these
is
be,
required
Mr.
from
Sharma?
government.
You're talking about hand-holding for certain companies. Which would these be?
You see, any company in India, be it auto sector, be it engineering sector, be it power sector, be it agro-based products, there are certain companies which are struggling today and they are at the borderline. They can become NPA, they cannot become NPA. They can come out with the flying colors. So the government, I will request to the government that government should see that what is to be done to those who are very sincere player, and if they are facing some financial difficulties today in terms of working capital or in terms of some easy loans or in terms of giving some benefits so that they can survive. I think that will be a great help to the nation. So this is my request to the government.
Just wanted to get in a view from you as well. Another niggling factor for the Indian steelmakers is imports, and more so coming from the FTA countries. At what stage are you when it comes to communication with the DGFT for the imposition of a safeguard duty?
You see, you are rightly word use safeguard. Safeguard is to save yourself. The whole world today is becoming nuclear means not nuclear arms, a nuclear economy. Everybody wants to save his or her state. This is what is happening for the last 3-4 years. United States is protecting his interest, China is protecting his interest. Similarly, India must protect the Indian industry interest. So we are facing difficulty, of course, when there is a FTA, and it is not a two-way FTA in real terms. Yes, the FTA can be welcomed, but the exporting country must import a similar quantity of steel from India or some other products made out of steel. So otherwise, it is one-side FTA. Government has taken this decision in past around 10 years back. They must have thought something. We respect their decision. But on side by side, there are some changes in last 10 years. Indian industry has come up very fast and the products are available. The good quality of products are available. I don't think now we need to import certain categories of steel which are already produced in the country. So this is what my point of view is. But as a whole, if you see, our exports and imports from the country and into country are almost balanced. So we export about 8 to 10% of our production and we import a similar quantity from outside. But small quantity coming from FTAs where the duties are zero or negligible, that disturbs the whole...
Right. Mr. Sharma, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining in and giving us a better understanding of the sector and how things stand at the company. Good to have you on board.